Yes. They released the movie Bottomfeeders, the documentary about the Staten Island comedy show. And they want us to come back to New York to do another show? Okay, I gotta get in touch with Saki first. Bye. Where's that sock? Hello, Saki? Yeah, they released the movie Bottomfeeders, the documentary about the Staten Island comedy show. The fans are going crazy. They want us to come back to Staten Island and do another show. You're on a cruise ship? Really? Okay, you'll meet me at the beach tomorrow at 12 noon? Okay, see you then. Where is that sock? What the hell?
Hey, let me out of here. Hey, let me out.
What the?
Got to get out of the bottle.
Come on, Saki. We gotta go back to Staten Island to do the comedy show because the Bottomfeeder movie came out. The fans are going crazy. They want us. They're demanding us.
Okay, let's go.
Our guest tonight, Mike Bocchetti, Tom Padovano, and I'm your announcer, Bodybuilder Bob, and Freddie Coscia, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Staten Island, it's the Staten Island Comedy Show with your host, Nevin Cummings.
We're here right now in the studio to preview the Bottomfeeder movie.
Wow,
We have two guests that were in the movie. Fred Coscia was in the movie. Bodybuilder Bob was in the movie. I'm in the movie. Mike Bocchetti was in the movie, and Tom Padovano of Staten Island was in the movie. So you're welcome to watch the movie. It's out there for everyone to see. You just go to the website, bottomfeedersthemovie.com. and watch the movie. It's all free for everybody to watch, and that's the documentary movie about the Staten Island comedy show. You'll see Saki, you'll see DeVito, just DeVito. Just DeVito. Just DeVito. Okay, just DeVito. And we have all kinds of, Larry DeFelice was in it. It was a very great movie. So we're going to preview the movie tonight. We're going to have clips of the movie Staten Island, so please stay tuned. You know what, Freddie?
What?
This skinhead, right? He's walking down the street with his girlfriend, and all of a sudden the girl says, "Oh, I love that jewelry in the mirror, in the window, in the storefront." So the skinhead grabs a brick and he throws it through the window, gets the jewelry. They're walking down the street further. "Oh, I like that leather jacket in the window." Yeah. And so the skinhead grabs a brick, throws it through the window, and they grab the leather jacket. So they come to a Mercedes-Benz dealer, and so the girl says, "I like that car. I'd like to have it." So the skinhead turns around to her and says to her, "Hey, what do you think I am? Made out of bricks?" Woo! So we're gonna have a great show to you tonight. So stay tuned. So Freddie Coscia. Comedy Show. Hi, Mike
Hey, Nev,
Bocchetti.
how are you,
doing?
buddy? Good.
Tom Padovano.
Hey,
Thanks for
Nevin.
coming today to the special Staten Island Comedy Show special, Bodybuilder Bob. We're in Coscia. We're all in the Bottom Feeder movie, and you're welcome to see the Bottom Feeder movie. Just go to bottomfeedersthemovie.com, and you can watch it for free. And it's all about the ins and outs of the Staten Island Comedy Show, Fred.
Yeah.
Right?
Great.
So it was a great movie, right?
Yeah.
There was 200 people at the premiere last year, and we all had a great time. Everybody was laughing throughout the movie. So if you want to forget all your problems, just go to the movie and watch it. You'll enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah.
So our first guest is Mike Bocchetti.
Hey, Nev,
How
it's
you
good to be
doing?
back.
It's nice to be back, right? And you were at the movie. Well, you were in the movie.
Well, I wasn't there, but I was
Right,
at it,
right.
in it, you know.
And you-
Yeah, I was going to say the F word. It was hot that day.
Please, I don't want to go to 3 in the morning.
I'm used to the F word, but I'll just say it was freaking hot that day.
Yeah, right. So, Mike, you were in the movie and you described your tattoos.
Oh yeah, what an idiot I was forgetting about it. It's like, yeah.
But it was very funny in the movie. People were laughing in the movie, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we
Thank
had
you,
that
guys.
rolling ready of Mike Bocchetti from the movie.
I got to
The
say
Bottom
this. I
Feeders.
can't wait to see this
Yeah,
live.
we
now.
have a clip of the movie Bottom Feeders with Mike Bocchetti in it. And this is like behind the scenes. He was in the control room of the movie, of the set here at the Staten Island Comedy Show, at here in CTV.
Oh, was I Santa Claus in that part of this or no?
You were in a certain part of the movie. You were Santa Claus in the background. And we noticed you with your glasses on, so we knew it was you.
Yeah, how can you-
But if we had the roll-in of Mike Bocchetti on the Staten Island Comedy Show, Bottom Feeders, the movie.
I'm dying to see this. It's going to be fun.
Okay, if Mike Bocchetti's on there. If not, we'll talk about the movie some more. Now, Mike, you had the tattoos. I see.
Yeah, I was very young and very stupid when I got them, actually.
And
because-
you have 4 of them throughout your arm. And
I got
this
5 of
one
them.
was particular. This was somebody died or something?
A good friend of mine died, had this. He had it over here, and he's kind of ticked off that I got it when we were young because it's like a genie smoking some weed.
So he got the tattoo, and then you got the
Oh,
tattoo.
he had it, and he was ticked off when he seen me having it because I showed him, and he was like pretty high when he seen it. He goes, "Hey, dude, you got my tattoo, man."
Okay, so, all right, so we got the roll-in, and now here's the roll-in of Mike Bocchetti.
The tattoos. You gotta put
Oh
those
God,
on
sure,
your
no
arms.
problem. These are guys. These were from the early '80s in my youth. Right. This is the geisha girl. I used to love Asian woman. I still do. This is our Lord and Savior. I believe in Him. I really do. I go to church all the time. This is a genie drug addict, I guess. A good friend of mine had this here. He died about 20 years ago. This is, I'm not sure if it was a nun or the Virgin Mary. It looks the same. It's not. And this is a Black Panther. I love animals. I really do.
Okay. There they are.
Okay, so that was nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was good, Mike. Yeah, it was a lot of fun that day, right?
I miss the 80s and the drug addicts.
Okay, now we have Tom Padovano. Thanks for coming. And you had an interesting interview also. And we were talking about that in the green room just now, that what you were explaining to us in the movie was kind of like the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks and Helen Hunt. And when Tom Hanks told Helen Hunt, you have to keep breathing. You got to stay alive. You got to keep breathing because you never know what the tide's going to bring in. And that's exactly what you were saying in the movie, The Bottom Feeders, in your interview. So that was the whole object of the whole interview.
Yeah, pretty much so. And Michael remembered this comedian, Annie Berman. We used to always say a couple of things. It only takes one person that's maybe important enough to like you, that could help your career, and you never know. You just never know. You get out there, you do what you do, and you never know something great can happen from it.
It could happen any second. You just got to be ready to have it happen.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
exactly.
absolutely right.
That's right.
So that's how I felt, and that's how I still feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the tide rolls in.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So if we have that roll-in of the of Tom Padovano's interview in the Bottom Feeder movie.
Oh, these are my notes. Code. I got all kinds of useless things there I always bring with me. Gatorade, in case I'm ready to faint. You never know. I started doing this show, this is like my 10th show. A fellow comedian, Mary Domino, long time ago told me about this show. And I went on, and I love doing it. And Nevin's been really nice, and he's had me back on a lot of times. Fred is a very loud drummer. Very loud. It's very tough when you're waiting your turn and you're sitting right next to that drum and he's playing that thing. I've had a couple of times to go to the ear doctor because of that, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
And what about Nevin?
Nevin's a great host, always supportive, always does a great interview at the desk, good introduction, and it's time for me to go. If I don't get off the stage, he takes out a gun. They're really nice in that they send you a copy of the DVD of the show you're on, so you could show it to other people, put it on YouTube and stuff like that. It's a different experience. It's something that we don't get a chance to do unless we really advance and could get on other television shows.
Do you think people watch the show?
They do. They do. I heard, and you could ask Nevin about that the cast of Saturday Night Live likes to watch this show.
They were on. They were here.
They were here, I heard. Not when I was here, but they actually watched this show. You know, all you need is one person, one network, one entity to take interest in something, and then it could take off. So if you're out there, there's always a possibility.
All right, and that's true. That's Tom Padovano's interview. Thank you for the kind words, Tom.
Oh, anytime, anytime.
Okay, now we go to Bodybuilder Bob. Bodybuilder Bob was in the interview, right? With
Yeah.
in the movie.
In the movie, too,
In the
yeah.
movie Bottomfeeders,
Yeah.
and I believe they have a interview with you that was. I know you did Arnold Schwarzenegger
Right.
in the movie, but I
Yeah.
don't think we had that interview tonight. But we have another interview that they did outside.
Okay.
Inside the hallway of the studio, because all this is Staten Island is background footage. This is about the making of the Staten Island Comedy Show, the difficulties. It's a documentary about how hard it is, and Freddie knows how hard it is, right?
So hard.
It's just lugging the drums and stuff, right? And Bob, right? You're announcing all those multi-syllable words of
Well, thank you very
names,
much.
right?
Yes. I'll be here always, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Okay, so we have the roll-in for Bodybuilder Bob, and congratulations for being a bottom feeder.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay.
Why do you continue to work on the show and help with the show? I just want to know like what it is that motivates you to do this.
I just love it. I've been in entertainment most of my life, and never made it, but that's okay because I just enjoy doing it. I started out with modeling and also singing, and which I do also, and play the guitar. And so when I met Freddie, I met him through somebody else. They came to a contest, and they showed me in New York, in the Tribeca area. It was a metropolitan contest, and ESPN was there, and a lot of people saw me, and they started, they interviewed me, just like you're doing now, and they said, this guy's got a personality. So I came onto the show, and then I did some comedy, and next thing you know, here I am. But I just come here, and I love it. Plus, I'm the guy that tells people to get off the stage. When Nevin starts going, that means pick up speed.
Wrap it up.
And if he's going like this, it's only like 30 seconds. So then finally I'll walk up there. So far you haven't seen me on there, and I'll go, come on, and then people, it's a rough way to end your act. I feel sorry for some of the people, but sometimes you have to do that. I'm the hook. I'm the hook. Thank God I've done very well in life. I had 2 or 3 different businesses, and I've done very well. So I'm kind of like semi-retired now. So I just would love to see everybody else get ahead. I even tell Nevin too. I said, if you don't have a part for me on the show, it's okay. I just love being here and talking to the people and seeing all the enthusiasm, and it's great. It's great. I enjoy it.
Okay, Bodybuilder Bob. Now, in the movie, you were Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes,
You dressed up, and that part was.
Yeah, I played the whole
shown.
part. Yes, I did.
Do that again.
Yes, I played the whole part. Yes, I did.
Okay, Arnold.
And then we all went out for sauerbraten afterwards. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you watch the movie Bottomfeeders, you can see Bodybuilder Bob as Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Bottomfeeder movie, because we're all bottom feeders.
What does that word mean, though, when you think about it?
I think, Freddie, we kind of swim on the bottom, right? I mean, we want to get.
Everybody's at the bottom trying
You
to
start.
Make it, no,
You start at the
everybody's at the bottom trying to make it to the top. And in entertainment world, there's 90% of them that 98% of them that are at the bottom, and the 2% are at the top. So we're, so
I
we're
wasn't
actually
sure
all
because
bottom feeders.
being Italian, I thought it meant cutthroats. We got to be careful.
But the fun of it, the fun of making it to the top is being at the bottom.
Right.
Yes.
Going up. So a lot of people go up and a lot of people come down.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Well,
you might
listen,
meet
look-
the guy up there coming
Look at
back
me.
up.
I was playing in front of 10,000 people with Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley and jamming out there. And the next day I was in the Lancaster Lounge with 10 people in it.
Okay, speaking of which, on your roll-in, Fred,
Yeah.
we have
Oh, right, the
the
roll-in.
interview of Fred Coscia, and you're explaining
Right,
what
explaining.
exactly happened that night
Yeah.
in the Bottom Feeder movie.
Yeah.
And we have that roll-in of Freddie Coscia in the Bottom Feeder movie. Now, you let us get familiar with it. You were on stage with them? Well,
Yes.
first of all, they were interviewing you in your house, and you had your fur collar on, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I
mean,
had the
'cause-
fur on, but it was cold that day, but I just had to put, I said, oh, might as well leave it on. It looks good. You know?
You know, that jacket gets us into places, Mike and Tom.
Chicks love it, man. It's like,
Yeah, and they, you know,
Yeah.
me and Freddie go up. I'm
It's
the
all about
cameraman.
the
They think
chicks
they think
It's
you're
all about the chicks at the bottom.
Follow me.
Chicks are at
Follow
the
me.
bottom.
the
Remember
bottom
that.
chicks are the best ones because, yeah.
The chicks at the top, they don't want to know us anyway, so what good is it?
We were at the Christmas ceremony in the Rockefeller Center that year, and I was the cameraman, and Freddie had the collared jacket on, and you'll see the collared jacket, Staten Island,
Yeah.
in the clip.
The fur,
but it always got us in through doors that we wouldn't have, because they thought he was an actual TV interviewer, star.
Yeah. Oh,
So
well, the drama desk.
the drama desk also,
Yeah,
right?
the drama desk. I interviewed Fran Drescher, Angela Lansbury, and I was in between Channel 4 and Channel 1. And all of a sudden, I seen Angela Lansbury coming towards me. This one, I says, what about them? I says, what? So they said to me, what TV show are you from? I says, well, you don't want to know. I said, you really don't want to know that.
You don't want to know about the bottom
All
feeders.
they can tell you is it started at the bottom of it, it's still there.
Okay, so we have the
Anyway,
roll-in
yeah,
for the Fred Coscia roll-in of the Bottom Feeder movie.
Yeah.
And we had that rolling.
I am Fred Coscia. I'm the co-host and sidekick for the Staten Island Comedy Show. My brother Drew started playing guitar, and from that, my mother says, "Oh, Fred, you gotta, I gotta get you on an instrument so you could jam together, whatever." My mother loved music. She was always a skater. She roller skated, and she was a pretty good roller skater and stuff. But she loved music, so she wanted the kids to be into music. We had 3 brothers in the group. It's me, Drew was a guitar player and sang, and James played bass. Well, now 50, right? So, I started really jamming out when I was like 17, from 17 on. 34 years of real jamming out. The name of our band was the Shooting Star Band, and we developed a pretty good name around town and stuff, especially in the schools. So we played Battle of the Bands. We actually won Battle of the Bands in a few different places. We won Battle of the Bands in this Catholic church in Grant City, and then we did Farrell High School. We won Battle of the Bands there. I've got so much culture in my soul, from doing it, that I took on all of these different, styles. It's hard to describe, but anybody that's a real performer could tell you it's the energy that you're getting. It's almost like a natural high that you get from people. And the more people that are out there, it draws to you even more. Like it's amazing. When you stop, that's when the music stops. It's like your energy is still flowing out there. There was about 10,000 people in the audience, and I was working with the Tokens at the time. And what happened was the lights went out, and I was playing, and I was really getting into it. And all of a sudden, they all stopped. But there was one light flashing on me, and I just kept going and going. And the people were getting more excited. They thought it was part of the act. So when I walked off, all the famous acts of that time, like the Tokens, Jay Siegel and Drifters and all them, they came up to me and go, you didn't have to do that. He says, you should have just walked off. He says, you're not getting paid. You weren't getting paid extra to do that. He says, I says, so I looked at them, I says, you think I came here to get paid? I says, I came here to do this because I love being on stage and getting that report from the people. You think I'm thinking about, oh wow, I'm making $150 tonight, you know? It's like, are you kidding me?
Okay, Freddie Coscia, ladies and gentlemen, from the movie Bottomfeeders. Okay, so we have a special roll-in tonight. We got to get real quick because this was the main part of the movie, where Jay Miller pulled the whole movie together. And we have for you tonight on Staten Island the Jay Miller interview. He's one of the writers now on what's
Practical
the show?
Joke.
The Practical Jokers.
Yes.
You know, it's a nationwide show.
Great show.
So we have that roll-in of Jay Miller.
My name is Jay Miller. I'm the host of a show called Mid-Evenings with Jay Miller. It's a strange, weird public access show on Staten Island cable and Manhattan cable. And I would say Staten Island Comedy Show is definitely a bit of an inspiration. I did the show for a while. I did the show as more like live theater, comedy theater. And then when I saw it here, I was like, oh, I want my show to look like that. And so I brought it here.
And is your show like that?
I don't think any show can be like this. They have this weird talent of finding people that I don't know where they come from. I don't know how they, they're such characters on the show. Not even the people who run the show, but every show they have a group of comedians that I'm like, where do they find these people? And then I get, like, I'm the kind of guy I get jealous of that. Like, where do they find this guy? This guy is amazing. That's the thing about everyone on the show is that they're so serious, and it's real. Freddie's just this. You know, he's just the rock and roll dude who like, almost like, it's like 1988, but just every year, like on New Year's Eve, it's like, Happy New Year, it's 1988 again. Like, we're just gonna do it all over again, guys. When you talk to Nevin on stage here, that's Nevin in real life. You know, his opening jokes, like if you talk to him outside, he'll do that same thing. He'll be like, oh, it's good to see you. You know, there were these two nuns who came out last week. Did you hear about this? The two nuns in the paper? And I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, that's real, you know? And that's what I love about it. So I ran into Jason Sudeikis from Saturday Night Live one time, and I'd met him before, so I introduced myself, and I said that I work, you know, I was like, you remember me? I was like, I perform with my friend Casey. He's like, oh, yeah, I remember you guys from the Staten Island Comedy Show. I'm like, part of me was like, you know, flattered, and the other part is like, out of everything I've done in my life, like, that's what I'm recognized from. Like, I know that a lot of those guys watch it, and, you know, they get a kick out of it. Why they watch it? I mean, I think it's that thing that this show can't be made up. Like, these characters, you can't write it. You can't pretend to be a Nevin. You can't pretend to be a friend. You can't come up with the idea of a Bob the bodybuilder. Like, these, you're almost like this. It's almost like who's writing this? How is this happening? You know what I mean? And then when you find out it's real, it blows your mind even more. You know, so I think it is that it's hard to explain what the appeal is, but it's there. I don't know where it can go. It's just a matter of weird and what people like. That's weird. I know there's a group of people like me who just like things that are weird, and like this is it. You know, this is like almost like the holy grail of awkward. You know, this is it. We found it.
That's great. Wow.
That was a great interview, and everybody loved that interview in the movie theater. They were dying laughing. 200 people at the premiere last year. They loved it all. They loved the whole movie. And then we're going to end with, of course, my interview. And, you know, we got to get me in there.
Yeah.
So, right? I mean, come on. It's my show, for God's sakes. All right, so if we have that rolling, you'll see my interview.
Now, do you ever hear from fans aside from us?
Well, my biggest fan, I was telling you before, was Fred Armisen. He calls me up and he says, the studio actually, NBC calls me up and leaves a message to have me call them. I call NBC up and he says, oh yeah, one of your biggest fans likes your show and he wants to do a project with you. I said, who? I said, who's this? He goes, well, she says, I really can't tell you, they'll call you back. So I said, oh my, what did I do now? Are they suing me? You know, because that's what a bottom feeder thinks like, you know. And before you know it, Fred Armisen calls me on the telephone. I says, is this real? Am I dreaming or something? And he goes, no, I'm your biggest fan. I'm a fan of the show, the Staten Island Comedy Show. I said, you sure? Sure, it's not another show you're a fan of? And he says, no, really, I am, and I want to come on.
Coscia, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Staten Island Comedy Show. We're going to have a great show for you tonight, so stay tuned. We have comedians. We have a musical guest.
Wow.
We have Fred Armisen's in the house tonight. How you doing, Fred?
How are you? Wow. Thank you.
So Fred,
It's great to be on your show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so if you had the opportunity to sell the show to a network, what would you say to them?
How much? You know, that's just the bottom line. You know, how much you willing to pay? You know.
How would you describe your show to them? Like if you're like doing a pitch.
Just a comedy variety show with a lot of things mixed in. You know, we have a floating head, we have a sock, we have a sidekick, we have bottom feeder co-hosts that come on, and they're all beautiful. So that was my interview of the Staten Island Comedy Show bottom feeder movie, and it was just a coincidence with when Fred called the station here. I got another message from my friend from 14 years ago, and he said, "Okay, you got this message from your friend Bruce from 14 years ago." I said, "You knew him?" I said, "Well, I haven't seen him in 14 years." "Oh, thanks." So he wants to get back in touch with you. And, I'm walking down the hallway. They tell me, "Oh, by the way, you got another message. 2 weeks ago, Fred Armisen called." I mean, NBC called. I said, "Oh, you give me the guy that I haven't seen in 14 years. When NBC calls, you wait 2 weeks. They must think I'm a prima donna or something." You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, he wrote down the date 1/11, and he called at 1/11, and that was the wrong time. And the date of the show was 1/11/11. So all the ones lined up, everything was good. The movie came out. Fred Armisen was on the show. So goodbye, everybody, and we'll see you on the next Staten Island Comedy Show. Fred Coscia, Tom Padovano, Mike Bocchetti.
Good night, everybody.
Bodybuilder Bob, and me, Nevin Cummings. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you in the movies.